First off, it is great to be here today with all of you and with people across the country who are facing up to this issue. Who would have thought even a few months ago that ending the Fed would be an issue being discussed among the body politic? Who would have even thought people would understand the issue? And in fact, we're just beginning to understand it in the United States. I was doing a show this week, and the reporter on it said she heard Ron Paul questioning the Secretary of Treasury and the head of the Fed, and she said he made no sense. I said, what do you mean made no sense? He said, he talking about the Federal Reserve, and what's that about? This is a reporter on the air. And I said to her, well, let me try to put it to you simply. The Federal Reserve is not a government agency. That's a disguise behind me. That's a disguise. That's not a government agency. It may look like one, but it's not a government agency. Second, the Federal Reserve is not of, by, and for the people. It's of, by, and for the banksters. It allows the banksters to print the money they want. It allows them to decide how much they're going to loan that money to their bankster friends, how much they're going to loan that money to the Department of Treasury, the U.S. government, how much they're going to loan it to American people. It allows them to determine the currency of the United States and its value. Unelected, not representative, certainly not representative of the full economy. There's no worker representatives. There's no state government representatives. There's no local government representatives. There's no federal government representatives. There's no elected people on the Fed. It's the only people on that Fed are banksters and banksters and banksters. When I said that to this reporter, she got it. She understood that, wow, I didn't realize that. That's something new. And so we need to find ways to explain this to people so they get it. Because once they get it, they don't want it to be that way. They want to see the Fed ended, and they want to see a system of control of currency that's based on the real value of our economy and that represents the real people of America and the interests of the people of America, not the interests of the bankers. Not banksters first, people first.
Exactly.
Not banksters first, people first. That's where we need to go. And you know, this is an amazing time in history. We are here at a transformative moment. We have a president who just got elected president, calling for change. Well, I'll tell you, the change that's coming is going to be more than he promised. This will be more than he expected. The change that's coming is going to be a whirlwind that's going to surprise those who support the call for change, because there's a lot of change in the air. And the bailout that we see happening has really presented the American people with a tip of the iceberg of the reality of our government. The reality of our government is that it is a corporate-controlled government. Just like the bailout is designed for top-down, big finance, big Wall Street, big banks, our government gives out hundreds of billions a year in corporate welfare to the big business interests. Hundreds of billions. The bailout is the most known, now observed vision of that. But way back in the 1990s, Time magazine, how mainstream can you get, was reporting $175 billion annually in corporate welfare. No one really knows how big it is today. It's so snuck in throughout the budget. We don't know about the loan guarantees, the loans, the tax breaks, the tax credits, the access to federal lands for no charge, the public airways. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars a year given away in corporate welfare. The bailout is bringing that to the forefront. And with our friends at Break the Matrix, you just heard Rick Williams speak, we formed a coalition that's transpartisan called Break the Bailout. I hope you'll visit breakthebailout.com and sign up. We're going to be doing our first money bomb on December 7th. And after that, you'll see on the website what we're going to do to try to break this bailout and stop this corporate welfare from continuing. This is a time when all of the foundations of our economy and our government are shaking. Big finance is faltering. The Federal Reserve is faltering. The Congress is not trusted. The President is not trusted. The Democratic Party is not trusted. The Republicans aren't trusted. The corporations, the media, not trusted. This is a time of change that's unpredictable. And it's a time for us to join together to create a vision of a new economy, of an economy that puts the people first, puts the needs of the people first, puts the interests of entrepreneurs and small businesses, the engine of American democracy and economy, before the transnational corporations that are sending our jobs overseas. So, people sometimes think that change is impossible. Well, now I can tell you, in America today, change is definite. Change is coming. Who could have looked back 30 years ago and said the Soviet Union would disappear and now be a multiple of nations? Who could look back, decades ago and say China would become the leading capitalist growth economy in the world? Who could look back in the 1970s, it was illegal to even advertise for gay rights, and now gays are getting married. Change is going to happen. It's going to happen quick and more than people realize. And it's our job as people who understand the finance system to work together to build the economy we want. If you're active, get more active. If you're just getting active, welcome to the fight. It's not going to be as easy as we think. They're not going to give up their power voluntarily. That power is going to be taken away from them. And it's going to take people like us and people across the country who are working in these End the Fed rallies throughout the nation today to be on the front lines in declaring, end the Fed. End the Fed. End the Fed. End the Fed. The time is now for the American public to take back what is ours. It's our nation. It's our economy. It's a representative democracy, not a bankster economy. Thank you all very much.